Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me and to learn a little bit more about the Peaceful Leaders Youth Program hosted by the Calvert Peace Project. Thanks for coming, and I hope you join us. All right, so I'll start by talking a little bit about the organization that I work for, which is Peace Through Action USA. And it is a national peace building organization that was started a couple of years ago by our CEO, Bob Reeg. And our mission is to activate and equip Americans to implement practical, peaceful solutions to aggression and violence. And his vision is really to create a program similar to AmeriCorps, Peace Corps, or Teach for America, but instead to have community peace building projects all over the country. And there's really a focus on peace building. And the first project is in Calvert County, Maryland, and I am the program manager. My name is Jessica Harding, and our mission is to increase understanding, collaboration, and community among youth and adults in Maryland, Calvert County, Maryland, and by providing civic and social engagement activities with a focus on peace. And our key activities include the Peaceful Leaders Youth Program, which is starting this month, and which is what I'm about to tell you about. We're building an adult peace builder preparation course specifically trained for adults. We have our Peaceful Speaker series where we invite speakers to come and talk about social justice topics or anything related to peace. We have a Peaceful Readers Book Club, a Peaceful Viewers Film and Discussion Night. And this coming April, we're going to have civic dialogues in partnership with the Mediation Center and the Calvert Library System. And then we have a couple of community service projects that we'll have throughout the project year. And the first one is for Martin Luther King Day, which is in a week. So if you're interested in doing a service project that's actually a virtual opportunity, go ahead to our website and check that out. All right, so who am I? I said I'm the program manager for this peace building project. But my background, I graduated from Towson University back in 2011. I have a BA in International Studies. And most recently, I graduated from the University of Maryland, Baltimore from a Master's of Social Work program. Graduated back in May, so not too long ago, but I am a licensed social worker. I am very service oriented. I served for 2 years in AmeriCorps in Baltimore City. And then I went to serve in the Peace Corps in South Africa, which you can see a picture of the village that I lived in. That was in Limpopo in the northern province of South Africa. That was from 2015 to 2017. And let's see, so I've lived abroad 4 different times. I studied abroad in Spain when I was in an undergraduate school. I lived in Amsterdam, the Netherlands for a year after I graduated from college. You can see a picture right here, best city in the world. Like I said, I lived in South Africa for a couple of years, and then I also lived in Uganda for half a year after that. I wrote a book of poetry, fun fact about myself. I'm also trained in mediation and Kingian nonviolence. And for fun, I love to practice yoga, I love to dance, love to read, and I'm also in a nonviolent communication practice group. Okay, so the Peaceful Leaders Youth Program. So let's talk about that. It really is at the intersection of 3 different things right now. So peace building, social emotional learning, and civic engagement. And this program is designed to help develop high school age youth to be peace builders in their community by providing a sequence of learning and action activities that prepares them to be the 21st century servant leaders that the world really is needing right now. So when we talk about the 21st century, like I said, for leadership, we're going to be focusing on servant leadership. And that really just means that the leader's main goal is to provide service to their people and to promote their growth. And some of the skills that servant leaders practice on a daily basis, on a continual basis, is they are purpose-driven, they are empathic, they listen, they are aware, they like to build community, they're receptive, and they appreciate people. This is literally what the world needs right now, all of these things. So the 21st century skills that we're going to be practicing and learning about and working together on. We're going to learn about collaboration, communication, critical thinking, creativity, and perseverance. And if the last 2 years have taught us anything, it's like we need to learn how to be resilient in such an ever-changing world. And we really need to learn how to show up in a different way, how to listen, how to be together in new ways. And yeah, that's what we're going to be doing together. So peace can be broken down into 3 different spheres. It's broken down into the personal, the interpersonal, and the community. So we designed this program to also be broken down into 3 parts. So we're going to be focusing on the self, we're going to be focusing on leadership, and we're going to be focusing on action. And each session is going to follow the same structure. We're going to be uplifting certain values that we're going to be talking about in relation to developing the skills for peace building, social emotional learning, and civic engagement. And the values that we're going to be talking about when it comes to the self, we're going to be learning about learning. We're going to be learning about compassion. For leadership, we're going to be learning about trust. We're going to be learning about listening and collaboration. And then for community action, we are going to be looking at the values of community centrism, diversity, equity, inclusion, justice, and action. All right, so some skills that youth will be learning. Like I already mentioned, we're going to be focusing on 21st century skills. Some skills that you learn when you learn to be a peace builder, you're going to learn how, like the knowledge on conflict. You're going to learn the difference between negative and positive peace. You're going to learn how to be an effective communicator and an effective listener, and also some skills in peer mediation. When it comes to social emotional learning, some skills are developing self-awareness, so important, and self-management. So really learning like what you're feeling, how to express it in a healthy way, and how to communicate that to others. And also you're going to be learning about social awareness and also relationship skills. And lastly, civic engagement. Youth will learn how to design and plan their own community service projects. They're going to lead civic dialogues with their peers, and they're also going to participate in an advocacy event. So every session is going to be kind of similar to like a workshop agenda, and it's going to follow the same structure. We'll have an opening, and then we'll review the gathering agreements that we all decide on in the first session. We'll review them every single time just to make sure that we are co-creating a safe space for all of us to show up in the way that feels good for our group. And we're going to practice a mindfulness or peaceful practice. We'll have a restorative circle, which will be based on a social or civic topic that we want to talk about that day. It could be something that we read together, or maybe watch a video on YouTube, and then we'll have a circle discussion about it. Then we're going to have a lesson based on the value that we're learning about that session. We'll have either one or a couple of games that build community and just have some fun. And then we're going to have student practice of the skill, or they're going to be able to creatively express the value. So there are a couple of ways that they can really learn how to integrate the knowledge that we're going over. So some examples of peaceful practices: guided meditation, journaling and reflection, restorative circles, qigong, yoga, breath work. And I'm not saying we're going to do all of those things. It really depends on the group. Maybe they want to focus only on one specific kind of breathing technique. So we practice it every single time that we meet. So they really walk away from the program feeling confident in that skill, which is a good thing. Or maybe they want to have a variety of different practices so that they can really like get a taste for different kinds of grounding techniques or different ways to connect with themselves, so that like in the future they can practice it on their own time. Really depends on the group, so we can decide that together. So is this program for you? Are you a high school aged youth? Are you interested in social justice and peace building? Are you interested in learning how to take action in your community? Do you want to meet new people and make new friends? Are you ready to commit to being a part of a peer learning group? All very important questions. And I want you to join if you really feel committed and really want to learn about yourself and learn about other people, and just be in a community of learners and to really enjoy that, but then also want to change the world and really want to be in a group of people that are also interested in that. How can we be more kind to other people? How can we show up in ways that we're proud of and that can really bring in more connection? We don't need more walls, we need more connection, for sure. So what it's not, I want to be clear that it's not only for liberal progressives. I have a feeling that it might seem that way. And actually I got some responses on the Facebook post that that people are only focused on diversity of skin color and that there's not enough room for diversity of thought. And I really want this to be a place for people to have ideas. We need to learn how to listen to each other. It shouldn't just be a world of echo chambers. So I want it to be a space where people can show up and be who they are and feel comfortable in their own skin. So I know I'm giving a PowerPoint presentation right now, but our sessions will not be a PowerPoint presentation. They will not. It's not going to be me just lecturing you and giving you this like banking style of education where I know it all and I'm giving you all the resources and everything. Yes, I have resources. Yes, I have information, but I really want this space to be something that we co-create together. And it's going to be based on discussion. So I can show you things and we can have discussions about it. And we don't all have to agree. We can literally learn new skills and learn how to talk to each other. That's going to be the goal. And it is not a religious program. Let me be clear about that. Just because we're talking about values does not mean we are religious. We do have a funding partner who is a church. So maybe that might be a little bit confusing, but we are not a religious program. We are secular, and that's how we're able to be partnered with the library system. That's just to be clear on that. So there are so many reasons to participate. For one thing, it's a very unique training. This is a training that I wish I had however many years ago that was. It's very unique. It's very relevant. It's very relevant to what we need in this world, I would say. Another reason, we're going to learn how to lead empathically and how to be a productive and effective citizen. There's an opportunity for leadership. It's great for your resume. It's an opportunity to make new friends who are passionate about social change. You're going to be able to learn how to discuss and address injustice in the world. It's going to be a non-judgmental space to be yourself and talk about issues that matter. It's going to be a fun learning environment to connect and be creative. I want to put an emphasis on that. It's not going to be more school, I promise. It's going to be a place where we can be learners together, where we can connect and be creative. So important. And let's see, peaceful practices that lead to stronger mental health, because who doesn't need that right now, especially during COVID. We're going to cultivate a learner's mindset. It's going to be a place to learn more about yourself, others, and how to effectively communicate with people. And last but not least, at a time of division in our country, it's really imperative that people learn how to be together. We really need to learn how to do that, because otherwise people are just going to continue to be in their own little sphere of influence. They're going to be rigid. And when people stop listening to each other and just create these enemy images in their head of who the other is, that's what leads to war. So I want to create spaces where we can break down those artificial barriers that divide us and create bridges. Let's learn a new way. That's really what I hope this program can be. So some logistics. It's going to be for high school students. We said 15 to 18. I do realize that there are some high school students who are 14, so that is no problem. We're going to meet at the Calvert Library in Prince Frederick. We're going to meet on the last Thursday of the month from 6 to 7:45, and the library closes at 8, so that's the latest it can be till. So 6 to 7:45 or 8, we'll say. And the first program, the first session starts at the end of this month on January 27th. So very soon. I'm very excited about that. So we're going to meet, like I said, the last Thursday of the month, but there also is going to be an opportunity for 2 meetings in a month. So another activity potential could be, let's say we're doing a community service project. We could be doing a field trip or a film night, or maybe even a potluck, because I know that food is a big draw for people. And unfortunately at the library, we're not able to eat because of COVID. So maybe we could create a different space, a different event where we can come together and share food and have some kind of community gathering in that way. That would be a fun way to interact. And let's see, the cost is free. So thanks to our community partner, we're able to offer this program for free. So how to get involved. I want you to go to peacethroughaction.org/peaceful-leaders, and you can, again, read some more about the program and then register. And if you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to me at calvert@peacethroughaction.org. And yeah, I hope you join us. And please, I invite you to spread the word and invite a friend. Let's make this a fun activity that we can do every month, and let's learn together and grow and change the world. So thanks for listening, and I hope you join.